Alrighty, I'm making another video, this time with Play-Doh, also from the Dollar Tree store, and this one has two colors. So, ta-ta, look at these colors. Look at these colors, they look even more amazing in the video. The colors. Oh my gosh, it's a completely different color in the video than in real life. No, that's weird. Okay. That has to do with the light, I guess. Nice, isn't this? Oh my gosh. I have this extreme affinity towards this screen. This screen has really fascinated me from day one of my life. I am not kidding you. So this screen, my dad was always laughing how I was like after the screen. There's a reason for it. There's always a reason for everything. That can have something to do with your past life. I may have been a ghost at some point with this color. Who knows? My dad calls it zinc green because of the oxidation process in zinc, I guess, and in copper as well. In Europe we have a lot of very old, very antique cathedrals that were from 1500, 1600, and they have a very meticulously crafted dome. Some of those, they have a dome, like particularly the so-called chapels. They have a dome roof made out of copper shingles, and they welded the copper shingles together, and that lasts for, I don't know, thousands of years. So they never even had to do any repairs on those, I guess. So, and then what happened is, in the beginning, they were shining in copper, right? Copper, like an orange type of metallic. And in time, with the rain and the snow and the sun and all these, all the water coming down on that copper roof and the oxygen in the air, it started to go through that process called oxidization. And that's when, I guess, water and oxygen molecules start to attach themselves onto the metal, and it turns the metal into this color, which is amazing. It really is this color, exactly this color. And I've always been fascinated with that. I always thought, wow, that is an amazing color. And my dad explained to me how that happens, this process. And he understood my affinity to this zinc green. Here in the United States, I guess they call it mint green, because, they would probably color a mint in this color. Very pasty, but it was a green, like a green tone mixed into the zinc oxide. And zinc oxide is actually white. It's actually a mineral that you can buy, and that is very, very healing, but don't take too much of it, but in very small amounts, very, very healing. And I made a bunch of skin creams using some zinc oxide. I even have it on my face right now. And that has like a slight clown white color, and it makes the skin more even colored and more pasty colored, which I like personally. Nice, coming in 2 colors, and we'll see what happens when I mix them up. Let me take a guess what happens. The end color will be like a cardboard, I think. I'm just guessing right now, but that's from what I know about colors so far. Probably like a cardboard. Cardboard, more like this here, but much lighter. So, like the baby dog, kind of like the baby dog, probably. Okay. And so, let's see, I might call this video Cardboard Colored Astronaut. But he starts out with this color combination, orange and mint green. It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And I also love the color of my nail polish. That's another pasty green, which I absolutely love. I've always loved these kind of pasty colors, these pastels, as my dad calls them. Pastel colors. I'm crazy about it, absolutely. Also, this here, this is a wonderful color. This here is kind of dirty. I have to put it in the bleacher again. I already bleached this jacket, but I have to bleach this again. Yeah, when I have skin creams on me and perfume oils, some of my perfume oils, actually, I put clay into them, and so my creams all have clay in them. And the clay particles have a muddy type of color, and that colors my stuff. And then also dust particles stick onto that and color that. And Paul hates it. He doesn't like skin creams at all. I love skin creams, and I make them myself, and it's wonderful. I got the flower for you. I got a mint flower for you, Sandy. Mwah. A minty, minty, minty flower. A minty rose. This is beautiful. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And healing. You must take. Very important, you have to take clay every day. It's hard for me to get Paul to take the clay, even the one that he convinced me to buy. Even that, I have a hard time getting him to take that. But most people don't want to take the clay for some reason. But if you just knew what the clay does for you, if you only had an idea on what that does for you, you would take that meticulously every day. You will not forget, ever. Okay. And the roses, they have these little thorns on them. Yes. Yes, but we don't have thorns. We are loving. This is nice. Oh gosh. This is so much fun. This is so much fun. Oh gosh. Yes. Oh yes, you went to the bathroom. That's good. Yeah, that's very good. Smells good. Yes, I got a flower for you. You can't eat that. Yes, you cannot have phone. Yeah. Oh no, oh, no. No, can't have it. No, you can't have it. You can't. No, you can't have it. my camera guard slid down. Of course it did. Yes, that was my own fault. Yes, that was my own fault. Now we can make a cup out of this and drink tea out of it. No, you don't want to ingest particles from this. So let's get started with the mixing process now. When I do this, I am a child again. I am. And it's wonderful. And everyone should do that. Like I said in my last video, you have to become a child again, said Friedrich Nietzsche. The lion has to become a child eventually. Psychologically, of course. So let's see how this color is going to become. I bet you it's going to become a cardboard color. As an artist, I have some experience with mixing colors. I mix most of my own colors that I buy. Basically buy yellow, red, and blue, and white. And I can mix any color I want from all these base colors. 4 base colors. Okay. You can even create black if you have an even amount of yellow, blue, and red. And if you mix that together, the color will be like an anthracite, like a very, very dark gray, or could even be a black. So it depends on which colors you are using. But if you have a completely pure red, pure yellow, pure blue, so and even amounts, then the chances are high that it might become a very, very dark gray or black. So, but I don't work with black. My computer has black keys and stuff, but the rest is white. I would prefer a computer, of course, in colors, in pastel colors, particularly, like this would be good, and the mint green. So I was wrong, it's not becoming a cardboard color. It's just becoming another green, another pastel green, but that's okay too. It's just a little bit more yellowish. And that's okay. Today I woke up designing handbags in my head. I'm making myself a carrier bag that is about the size of a shopping bag, but too good for using as a shopping bag. It has double layer. It is already, because I had made something else with that before, and I'm using this now sort of like a patchwork material that looks really, really good. I think I will show it once it's finished. I make a video and show that bag. It's amazing. So that bag will be perfect, like to carry a towel in it and sun lotion, something like that. Or I can go to an apple tree and I can pick apples and carry apples in it. Yeah, this is now an apple color. Apple green. Apple green astronaut, I'm gonna call this. Okay. The apple green astronaut. Yes, baby dog. And baby dog's color almost has a little bit of a green in that as well. Just like my hair. It has sometimes has a bit of a greenish kind of shine in it. And yes, it grows back light blue. And the reason why I say that is because my hair, my natural hair color, as you can see by my eyebrows, I also put hydrogen peroxide on them, but my natural hair color is very dark brown. Yes. And my eye color is dark brown and dark green. I have two colors in my iris. So, and then of course I'm 57. No, I'm getting white hair mixed in, a lot of white hair mixed in, and that creates this light blue type of color, which is not very pretty. I mean, if it was an even color, completely even color like this, or like a real even, very light blue, that'd be awesome. But that's not what gray hair looks like. So gray hair is like light blue is really a compliment for it, but it really isn't. It's gray. That makes Sandy always very amused when you do that. Walking past here with a jacket over his head, like with some people, like some criminals that have to be transported with people holding some kind of tarp over them so that the public doesn't see how they look like. It's ridiculous. So this is the color that came out of it. An apple green. You didn't see the original color, but if you watch the video, you will see it. So, okay. The room looks better now. Okay, I'm going to show you quickly. There is my alien spaceship 1 over there. It looks really good. Cleaned everything up. I don't want this to fall. Okay. My back hurts. I have to lean back. Okay, like this here. Okay. Yeah, this is good. This is good. The light from the front is good. Alright, it's nice now. Very nice. Okay, today I wanted to talk about the rehab center that I designed in my head. I think I still want to write a book about this. I already have a health book out there called I even forgot the name now. The Rejuvenation Program, the Ultimate Rejuvenation Program. Okay. And it's on Kindle. And not one person apparently bought it. Some people got it for free. So that's better than nothing, because that's why I wrote the book, to get the message out there of holistic health. So I wonder if the corporate agenda will actually prevent someone like a complete new writer, any writer, will actually pay Jeff Bezos and Amazon to not publicize the book when it's about holistic healing. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, but probably not. You know, the amount of books out there is overwhelming. Most people don't even get to see one specific book. They all fall under the radar because only the ones that are being seen by everyone are the ones that are promoted, the ones that are advertised. Amazon could do the right thing and advertise my book to help make the world a better place. But I have not made any money at all with my books that I have on Kindle. I have 3 books on Kindle, never made any money on them. But that's okay, whatever. It's not a biggie. But I have a lot of solutions, not just ideas, but solutions for the world. And that's why I want to talk about, today I want to talk about my therapy help centers. In particular, I want to talk about the drug rehab center. So, in the beginning of making the Astronaut, it requires a little bit more focus. So I have to get this first started. And I can't talk very much while I'm getting the base shape started. Then afterwards I just do a little bit here and pressing here and there, and then I can focus on what I'm talking about. But in the beginning I have to, when I first start forming the Astronaut, I have to use my focus on this. But that's very good, and that's very relaxing, so it's very good. It's very relaxing. Don't do it, don't press hard on him. We definitely need these art programs. They need to be mandatory for people in the therapy, in all 3 closed therapy help centers. They need to be mandatory, not in the open one. In the open one, people can do whatever they want to do. They can watch educational films that I will have ready for them in specific rooms, and we can do all kinds of things there. We can cook together, we can have people do cooking classes, but it has to be free, it has to be all based on non-profit. based on donations, and it's a community center for people to get together. But what we will have every day is group therapy from 5 to 8 in the open center. So, and people can participate if they want to, but this is not mandatory. In the closed ones, it's mandatory. But in the open one, there will be a lot of people that will make use of that and that need it, desperately need it. If people have finally someone to listen to them, they finally have an opportunity to heal and to express how they actually feel. You know, a woman being jealous of another woman. So now this is your chance, you know, in the open clinic, in the community center. So that's your chance to do that in group therapy. That's your chance to really go for that and express how you feel. And for some people who have a lot of trauma like me, they're not even ready even when we have that. But that's a start. We have to at least have this opportunity, have this entire setting where we can sit there, listen to other people talk about their issues. And if we're not ready to talk about our issues, then that's okay, but it's already started on the healing process. So it's happening internally already. So, and that was the case with me when my friend Eva said that there's someone in the center she has a crush on. I already knew who that was. The same guy I had a crush on. And I was very jealous because he told me that he likes her too. And here, I talked about this before. Because of my jealousy, I could not bring them together. I could not say, hey, you both are a match. You like each other. No, because of my jealousy, I couldn't do it. And she needed that. That would have changed her whole life because that guy is rich. And she could have had a good life and they could have been happy together. But because of my jealousy, I didn't say anything. I was just sitting there jealous with bad feelings. But, I should have brought them together. And then I should have watched myself and seen what happens, what comes up inside of me. That was my opportunity to go for it full force. Say, this is it, Here are two people that like each other, but they don't know that they like each other. But they told me, so I should bring it out to the open. And Eva was too nervous and afraid, so she didn't say who she has a crush on. She said she has a crush on this one woman, and that wasn't just simply not true. And I think the other woman who also had a crush on that same guy, she didn't say anything either, for the same reason that I didn't say anything. So Eva was the youngest of us, so obviously, men like the younger the better. So, and she had blue eyes or green eyes, very light eyes, red hair, voluptuous, like way overweight one, but he likes that, so a lot of men like that. I was overweight too. My other friend was overweight. We were all overweight. But Eva was as overweight as my other friend. And and she was young, and she had red hair and light eyes. So all of this, he liked that. Obviously, he loved her and loved her like that. And I should have said that. I should have said, why don't you tell John who you really like? And I would have probably made her feel ashamed. And I should have said, don't feel ashamed. You like him, say it to him. And if she didn't say anything, or John didn't say anything, then I would have said to her, John told me he likes you too. Should have said it right there in the center of it. I didn't, because of my jealousy. So that's what jealousy does, and much worse things. I don't even want to get into this now. Women have killed women. Girls have killed girls because of jealousy. Horrible. That's absolute horror. If they don't get any help, if they don't get anyone to say it's okay to have jealousy, just don't hurt anyone, okay? Talk about it. This is your chance to talk about it, to heal it, okay? And then drugs make all of that much, much worse, of course. So in the closed therapy centers, we have mandatory group therapy from 5 to 8 every day. Very important group therapy, and the reason why is because there you get to see how other people feel and what other people say. And you will often find out that you have completely misjudged someone. You know, you may think this person is arrogant, they are kind of keeping to themselves, they don't like me or whatever. Then my own pain comes up. Oh, I'm not likable because my parents have not liked me enough. And that's simply not true. Okay, everyone is likable, everyone is precious. Everyone's body is precious and lovely and deserving of love. But our childhood pain created it, made it so that we feel unlovable. And then when we encounter someone who ignores us, we will immediately come to this conclusion: it must be because, we are ugly, or we are not lovable, or whatever, because of the childhood trauma, and when we haven't addressed the childhood trauma. But this is our chance now to address the childhood trauma. What comes up? What kind of feeling? Let's not also, we just have to keep in mind the analysis of this, but let's not analyze it while we're in the session. While we're in the session, we want to really let ourselves feel how that feels, and not suppress it. Let it flow out. Feel it. Cry it out. What does it feel? That's your chance to talk about it. And the other person talks about it as well, and suddenly you see, the other person, that wasn't even about you. Okay? The other person has their own pain. Okay? Yeah, he or she went into a reclusion and has kind of kept away from other people, kept away from you. You interpret it as some kind of, yes, I see. You interpret it as going against you or not liking you. But in reality, that person was doing that because of their own pain. Okay? Their own childhood trauma. That's why. Or a man might be really, really shy, and the woman will feel rejected. But in reality, he is just really, really shy. Some men are so shy that they cannot talk around a woman, particularly around a woman they like. I've seen that many times. Okay. Also in school, I felt rejected. And in reality, now looking back on it, I see now that one kid, the real cute, kind of like a tan colored they call them the Egyptian. So the one exotic guy in our class, I had a crush on. And he was very, very shy, extremely shy. And I took that personally because we didn't have any help. We didn't have groups there. Every school should have a therapy, a group therapy from in the afternoon from 5 to 8. But we don't, that's another subject. No, the schools have to be closed. We can make therapy help centers out of the schools that are already existing, and out of any kind of old church that somebody could buy. If there's an old church abandoned by whatever group, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, and they moved into a different building and you can buy that, then that should be converted into a therapy help center. So we need to do away with the actual schools. We need to have only open therapy help centers instead for all the kids to go to. Also, we should have a juice bar there where somebody makes them juices and nice non-alcoholic cocktails, like juice blends, and we can mix all kinds of things in it, and we can experiment with different herbs and blends and juices from the juicer, and we can make so many amazing things. Whole food, healthy, green apple juices mixed with carrot, and all whole food, and raw, in those centers. That's where the focus should be, on whole food and raw. Plant, whole food and raw. And no alcohol, absolute no tolerance on any substance that is not good for us. Very, very clear. So, and then they can also have voluntary tutoring there, and we can have some classes but they're all voluntary. And then the part that has to do with academia, with the actual tests that kids do, that has to be mainly be conducted on the internet. So internet classes like the ones at Stanford University with Dr. Robert Sapolsky. He's like the front runner for this. Have internet classes. All school classes should be done on the internet. And the therapy help center, the open one, the community center, should be only for tutoring and for like extra classes to explain some things in case kids haven't understood it. We can have all kinds of classes there for kids as some sort of afternoon school tutoring, and to help kids understand the stuff better, the stuff that they didn't understand in the class that was on the internet, and where they can also ask questions, and where they can have an actual in-person interaction with tutors. I think that would be really, really great to have that. But now I want to talk about my rehab center. My rehab center is one of the 3 closed therapy help centers. I have 4 together, 1 open and 3 closed. One is the drug rehab. One is for schizoid people, homeless people. They have to be rounded up. I'm sorry, They are a danger to themselves and other people. Many of them are also on drugs, but they need a special treatment because they have schizophrenia, for whatever reason, could be also caused by hallucinogenic drugs, or it is genetic, or it has to do with severe trauma. So that has to be dealt with in a very specific way. We need very specific people that are educated, that are trained to help people like this. And almost all homeless people are cluster A schizoid. And then we have to, of course, we have to have the actual what we have right now, the prison, the high security prison. Those are going to be the cluster B therapy centers, and they have to be dealt with in a very specific way. They need very specific personnel, and they need bodyguards, they need guard personnel to protect the people from themselves and from each other, and so and they need very specific treatment. Every one of them needs to have the group therapy from 5 to 8. In the closed stations, needs to be mandatory. That's part of the healing program for those people that really need it. And so the drug rehab center is, and many of them are also overlapping, of course, but those are just the basic centers, and then maybe someone can also be brought from one center to another center if the staff decides that would be better for them to do. So it's not set in concrete, but I have these 4 centers as like a general help facility, as a general help foundation for these people. Okay, and so in the drug rehab center, there's group therapy from 5 to 8, and the people have to be completely getting off the drugs, of course. They cannot be weaning them slowly or something. They have to be taken off these horrific substances instantly. 0 tolerance on drugs and alcohol and nicotine in all these centers. I mean, unless, we have the nicotine that comes in tomatoes or something, or in plants, and natural, holistic, whole plants. There's nicotine in our bodies, but also called niacin, which is actually a B vitamin. But the nicotine in tobacco products, and these tobacco plants have been specifically bred to have very high concentrations of this, which clogs up the lungs, and which is not beneficial in these high amounts, of course. But in small amounts, it's very beneficial. But, you know what I'm talking about. So we don't want nicotine products that are there in form of tobacco or tobacco products or something like this. And the people that are completely addicted to the stuff, for some people that are so addicted to it, they can actually die if they are taken off. And that applies now to the tobacco products. They can die if they're taken off, or some people can also die if they're taken off alcohol, cold turkey like this. So for the people that are doing alcohol withdrawal, that's all part of the drug rehab. They have to immediately be put on clays, on bentonite clay, very, very important, because that gets all the toxins out. It soothes down the nervous system instantly. So they can't be weaned off slowly or anything. No, they have to be taken off that substance completely, and then they have to take clays and drink specific teas that are very beneficial, like Pieris japonica, and in mild amounts, to calm down the nervous system. Also chamomile and rhododendron and Camellia japonica, very, very, very healing, very helpful with this, to make tea with. and for the people that are doing tobacco withdrawal. So some of them say that they have to wean them slowly, but I don't agree with that. They have to be. They can't be just taken off the stuff and then not do anything else. So we have alternative plants that come in to take the place, which makes it so they don't go like they don't come crashing down. So because of the alternative plants, they have to get taken off the tobacco products. All of these products that are bad, alcohol, drugs, tobacco, all of this has to be completely, instantly be done with. They cannot have any more of that. But they will take the alternative, all the alternative whole plant and whole mineral substances. So to come in and soothe the nervous system so that they don't feel this cold turkey crashing. Okay, so, and there are many, many, many plants that will be very, very beneficial and very helpful and very healing. The ones I mentioned and many others. And also according to the region that the Therapy Health Center is located. If you have a Therapy Health Center, let's say in Manaus, okay, in South America at the equator, then you have such an abundance of beneficial plants there. You cannot even imagine what an abundance. But yet the people that live there have absolutely no regard for their environment, which is very sad. But once we have the AGI robots, that's going to change. The AGI robots, they will not put up with environmental devastation anymore. Worldwide, they will intercept. Okay, they will not allow this corruption from happening anymore in Manaus or Philippine Islands or United States or Germany or wherever it is. Okay, England. They will. The AGI robots and drones will not allow that. And some of them are very large. Some of those robots, and they need to be large, okay, in order to intercept with some people. So, but then we can, if we don't create the therapy health centers before we get the AGI robots, then the AGI robots will, at least then, once they are here, pick up on what I'm saying here. They will see that immediately, no matter how far my video has retracted itself into the past. No longer seen, no longer on my page because it's so far in the past. But the AGI robots and programs will see my videos, and it doesn't matter how famous or unfamous I am. They will see my videos, and they will see everyone's videos and blogs and vlogs and so on, where somebody has something extremely beneficial for us. They will recognize it and they will make use of it. They will implement it. Because obviously, as long as we have corruption, this is not going to be implemented. The majority of people are not interested in what I have to say. The majority, particularly of the people that are running the world, they're corporate, they're not interested because they make money on the situation that we have right now. So they're not going to change that, Even if we, for example, if we had the sewage reform or something, it would be beneficial for everyone, but the people who are running it, they're not interested in the reform, because then that would mean they're not going to get their cash that they get now, that they get on cost of the environment with the situation that we have right now. And I'm not going to get into this now. I talked about that yesterday, how devastating that is, what we have with our current infrastructure. It's all going to change once we get the AGI robots running things. That's all going to be reformed, because they will understand the importance of reforming all of that instantly, without any hesitation. And the people are shitting in their pants right now, afraid of the robots taking over. Yeah, they should be, because those are the ones that are keeping the corporate corruption going. Those are the ones also that are terrified, and those are the only ones that the AGI robots will come after. Okay, because unless they give in to the AGI robots. If the corporate person says, okay, I'll do what you say, then they're not going to hurt him. But they're most likely going to be putting up a fight, and the corporate people, and that's when the AGI robots have to become more drastic in their approach. So they will be left without a choice then. So this is not a threat, this is just a prognosis for the future. And I said some bad stuff on the internet, that's why I got censored, of course, also. And I'm not going to use those words again. I'm not going to say this anymore, that somebody, no matter how bad a person is, I can't say that person needs to be droned. I understand that is... that's not good language, that's not good conduct. I'm gonna leave this up to the AGI robots. We need to stay positive. We need to focus on the positive instead of the negative. Saying, Zelensky is an international war criminal and blah, 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 blah. So, yes, he is, but I'm not gonna say anything anymore that's negative, because I understand that's not good to say negative stuff like that. Although the censorship that I experience is totally wrong, and people should have the right to say this, but I agree that it is not positive. So we want to stay positive. A lot of kids also see these comments, and I want to focus what I say on that, what makes the world better, instead of the war type of aspect of the situation. I'm leaving the war aspect to the AGI robots and drones. Okay, they will have to be the world police. War only in terms of policing, not in terms of warfare. Policing in terms of surgical warfare, as they call it. They will do it. They will do this. Yes, this is getting good. It's getting better and better now. Okay, this is the female one. And then we'll join the male one upstairs. It smells so good. So, yeah, for the drug rehab center, and I think that's what we should be focusing on when we talk about stuff. We should be focusing on the future and how we create these reforms. So that's what our focus should be on. Let's not get into war. Let's stay away from war, even with the way we talk. Let's really focus on how we make the world a better place. I have to tell myself this. I'm telling everyone at the same time. And I learned something again from this. It's very important we stay focused on how to make the world a better place, and not the finger pointing and all of that. Or whatever, retaliation or whatever. All of that is wrong. Warfare, retaliation, all of that is wrong. Leave that up to the AGI robots to do the policing. And they will not torture anyone. They will not. They will see instantly who is who, and they will have to take action and stuff. Okay. But we will have a cluster B center for those criminals, and the people that are greed driven, even the academic ones, the white collar greed driven people like Bill Gates, or people that are people. He put the jacket over him again. People that are greed driven and that are causing absolute terror for the world. Let's say someone who has never actively murdered someone. Many of them have hired people to murder someone. Believe it or not, it is what's happening. Don't be naive. But those people that have hired to murder, I would say that the corporate agenda people, unless these people become more and more vicious, the drones will probably take care of them. But the ones that are like really white collar sociopaths that are also all belong into the cluster B group, they will go into the cluster B group whether they want to or not. And many of them will stay there for the rest of their lives. So, and it will not be unpleasant for them. It will not be a torture. It will not be horrible. It won't be luxurious like they had it before on cost of others, but it won't be horrible for them. So, no torture, no solitary confinement, no cages, no single prison cells, and all of this. No. It will be more like a closed ward, psychiatric ward. Everything will be monitored by AGI robots. Everything will be monitored at all times. Okay, even the toilets. Sorry that they asked for it, they will get it. Okay, if they cause environmental devastation and cause other beings to suffer, if they drill, if they do fracking and they cause entire wetlands to die with had frogs, those people need to go into the cluster B centers, and that is what they're basically asking for when they're doing these type of horrible things to the planet. That's where they go. Okay. And some of them may have to be euthanized. So, but I'm leaving that up to the AGI robots to make that decision on who gets euthanized and who does not, and who just stays for the rest of their lives without. There will be no more parole. The parole and all of that, or these kind of ankle bracelet, that'll be something of the past, because these people will go into those centers for the rest of their lives. And it's necessary. Okay, so for the homeless people that are schizoid, they will undergo real rigorous therapy program, healing program, and the AGIs will decide who is ready to be released into the public, okay, and who is able to manage with the open clinic and come there and do the follow-up therapy program there. So, but the cluster Bs, and I'm not even counting the drug dealers or some gangsters that have done kind of gang type of warfare among each other, unless they have murdered people. So I'm not even saying that those people are completely exempt from ever being released back into the wild, into freedom, into complete open existence, where they can buy a house and live somewhere and so on. So I'm not ruling that out, but there are some people that have done such horror to the world, like with the drilling and fracking, or people that have cruelly murdered animals, they have to stay in the Cluster B center for good. But again, I will talk about this now for the rest of my life. But in regards to the drug rehab center, there are so many amazing plans that, and those people, they have a great chance to be released back into freedom, and with the Open Therapy Help Center do therapy process continuation and all of that, and also learning things. Learning is really key. Healing, learning, growing, and expanding. Okay, these 4 words: healing, growing, learning, expanding. Okay, that is why we're here on this planet. That is our school. This entire planet is our school. But many people are very lost because we don't have the right help for them. Okay, I am very, very lucky that my parents paid for primal therapy, and that I found primal therapy, that I found Annalise. So most people are not lucky to find such an amazing therapist at a young age. I don't know where I would be if I did not have Annalise or primal therapy later on. I don't know where I would be at. I'd be very, very miserable. Much more miserable. Already very miserable, but a lot of times. But I'm healing, okay? I'm on the healing paths. And you can see this. If you have seen some of my older videos, you can see that I'm going through a persistent healing process. And it's amazing. And I know what I'm talking about because I'm doing this with myself. Okay? I'm my own guinea pig with that. And don't use guinea pigs for anything to test anything on, except loving and kissing. Okay, so I'm not even going to use that word anymore. So I'm my own test person. Okay? So test on humans. I always test on myself everything. That's the right thing to do. I make my own skin creams. I test them on my own skin, and that's how we should do it. So the drug rehab people, clients, they will really get help, okay, and they will get a good life, and they get the therapy program every day. They will have we will also have mandatory meditation sessions, inwardness meditation, where nobody talks. We just sit there, okay, where we practice the inwardness process completely in stillness, where people can listen to Jiddu Krishnamurti. It's very, very important to listen to Jiddu Krishnamurti. Very, very, very healing. Jiddu Krishnamurti is Gautama Buddha. He is the infinite. Okay, he is our ultimate father, all of our father, of all of us, not just Jesus Christ. He is your father too. Okay, you are his child. Okay, all of us are his children, and we need to listen to him. Okay, we need to meditate with him, and we will have all kinds of things for these people. And with the right plants and the right food and the right love approach and all of this, these people will not feel lost. These people will not be crashing down. I've seen these reality shows of rehab centers. They just, where these people are just completely left by themselves, even though they're in the rehab center, but they're coming out there at night in despair because they're crashing cold turkey. They're literally crashing in the hallway. I've seen these women. I felt terribly sorry for them. because they don't have anything in place that takes the place that is an alternative, a safe alternative that takes the place of that mental relaxation that should never come from a drug, never come from a narcotic. It should come from a natural plant, like Pieris japonica. Those women, if they had Pieris japonica tea in the evening and the massage before they go to bed, they would not have come out of their rooms literally crashing in the hallway, falling down, screaming in pain, psychologically and physically, from that drug withdrawal. That's horror. That's unethical. The way it is conducted, the way people are conducting it currently, or most people. I don't know if someone is doing it holistically. So there are some holistic people with holistic approaches. So, and every holistic approach counts, but we need an absolute comprehensive. We need a completely full circle approach of holistic healing, and then people can feel safe, like really for the first time in their lives, and they can safely withdraw, and without the torture of the withdrawal symptoms and all of that, with the right plants that are taking the place of the old substances and that are healing and healthy for them. Okay, so that's it for today. Take care. Love and peace for all living beings.